Welcome to We Go Again Next Summer. Today we're discussing something I believe is grossly under discussed in our community: secondary infertility. Secondary infertility is something that we often minimize. People say things like, "You already have a child, be grateful." But I think it deserves a conversation. And so today, with me, I have brought a friend and a woman whose story closely mirrors mine. Between the both of us, we have 6 and 7 years of trying for a second baby. So we're going to bring you along to share what that journey looked like, what we lost, what we carried, and the women that we became in the waiting period. My name is MC Olivia.
We go again next summer. Real women, real stories. We rise and go again with MC Olivia.
My guest today is a vibrant African woman, Titi Ushedo. She is a quality control tech. She's a mom of two, a loving wife, and the founder of the community I have come to know as Nigerians in Aberdeen.
We go again next summer. Real women, real stories. We rise, go again.
Hi Titi, it's lovely to finally have you here. I know that last year we were supposed to do this, but then my baby came earlier than expected, so we couldn't record this. But you're here now. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. So good to be here.
So before we get into the main conversation of today, I have three mystery boxes. One of them is absolutely empty. Let's see. Not this one. This one's got something. This one's got something. And this one is the empty one. So I'm going to get you to close your eyes and select one. One of these is a singing box. But when you close your eyes, I'm going to play the music. The goal is to find the singing box. You can't miss it. Are you ready? So Titi, close your eyes. This is our singing book. I want to see how well you can follow this one. Okay, open your eyes. So, choose a box.
Excuse me. There was nothing here before.
You have to choose before it times out. If it times out, it's timed out.
Really? Okay.
But open it.
I open.
Open it. Yes! It's your singing box. Okay, lovely. You did get it right.
Oh, thank you.
You
So
are
beautiful.
welcome. So let's get into the conversation of the day.
We go again next summer. Real women, real stories. We rise, go again.
I know that we've spoken before now and found that our stories are so similar.
Yes.
You have 6 years between your first baby and the second one.
Yes.
6 years of fervently trying.
Correct.
So I want to ask, what did you tell yourself in those early years, in the beginning, in year 2, in year 3? When did you first realize, Titi, something might be wrong?
Okay. I got my first pregnancy was a month after I got married. I got married at 23 years, so I got married very young. And then after 3 months of having that baby, I was pregnant again.
Oh.
So, I lost that baby. And then I was like, I'm not trying, till the next year. And then I started trying. It wasn't coming forward. I was like, no, now. So I had to wait. And I did a lot of things in between. From praying, from going to see doctors, from going online on Google to ask, from getting to know that I had hormonal issues. I mean, they said I had hormonal issues. I don't think I had
Okay.
it. So it was just a lot at that point. I had to battle with all those before I got pregnant. Also losing weight. I mean, I used to weigh like 98.
Oh, wow.
I dropped kg. I dropped like 15, 16. The doctor told me that you need to slim down to be able to balance your hormones and get pregnant.
And you did.
I did, but I can't even place that this is exactly what I did. And I did a lot of things together to get pregnant.
We're going to get into that.
Yes.
So in my experience, we went to see a fertility doctor here in the UK, my husband and I. The waiting list, we were on the waiting list for over a year.
Wow.
That's how long we were waiting to see a doctor for an appointment that lasted less than an hour. So they did like sperm analysis for my husband. They ran different kinds of tests for me, air quality, this and that, and they gave us a clean bill of health. They said, there's nothing wrong with you, man. There's nothing wrong with you, sir. But it had been 5 years at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, so if there's nothing wrong, how
Is it possible?
we are doing the do, why don't we have a baby? At that time I had just one miscarriage in 2020, which nearly ended my life. So I understand what it feels like to try everything. Mm-hmm. You were able to lose weight. Me, I wasn't able to lose the weight.
I mean, I had to.
I was weighing, I think, 88 kg, and the doctor said, there's nothing wrong with you. Go home. Come down to 75 kg. You might take it naturally. So I went home. Every time I'm running. My lunch break at work, I don't use it to eat. I will go on a walk.
Wow.
Every morning I'm working. If there's this doctor friend of mine, Dr. Mimi, she'll see me. Hey dear, she will wait. People in the neighborhood knew me because I was always working, trying to lose the weight. But I do struggle with losing weight. I gain weight easier than I lose weight. Yeah, which would bring me to my second question. How did you handle the people around you? People you got married with at the same time. You all had your first child, and then suddenly they have their second, and you're looking on. They have their third, and you're looking on. How did you handle that pressure? Your first child was growing up, I'm sure. Did she ask for siblings? Did she ask for siblings? Did she ask questions? Yes. Your husband, your family, his family, your friends.
It's actually a lot, so I'll just dive into it. First, I'm married to an Igbo man.
Okay.
And in their culture, my mother-in-law told me, you need to get pregnant before you get married. Oh. And I'm like, no, I'm a Christian, I can't do that. I'm in my own culture, my dad won't let me. And fine, I was lucky because I got pregnant the next month, right?
Yes.
And so I had this delay. But they were aware that I already lost the first baby, the second baby.
Okay.
They were aware about that. So
the miscarriage.
The miscarriage and also the birth after I gave birth. After I gave birth, I went to CS for a second baby. And I lost that baby.
Hold on. So you had your first baby.
Yes.
I'm trying to establish the timeline.
Yes.
You had your first baby, then took in
3 months after.
3 months later, and then lost that one.
Yes, after birth.
Oh.
Yeah, so I did a cesarean section.
Yeah.
Normal delivery, and I lost the baby.
How long after?
How long after? A few hours.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, that's fine. So it's an unfortunate scenario because I was going for antenatal. Doctors are just careless. That's what I was saying. They were just like careless. I think so.
9 months.
9 months, and I did a cesarean. And you know what happened? They put me in the same ward as people that have given birth. So I was seeing the babies. I was seeing, it was
mental torture.
It was really a hard time. But in between, I had issues with different people. So at that point, I used to go to church and and all that. So I always leave before the closing time because at a particular point they were asking me, your baby is already big, and they were asking innocently, like, your baby is already big. What's happening? What are you waiting for now? My mother-in-law was calling me. I was like, what's happening now? Everybody was asking. My friends were like, but you know what? The good thing about it was I married very early. So people felt like I was just, just flexing,
Spacing your
spacing it
children.
intentionally,
Yes.
So I didn't have that much pressure. Like, Titi, what's happening now? You want to be looking for him forever? You want to, And it went on till the 4th, 5th year. That was the hardest part of it because now the pressure was so much. But one of my husband didn't even pressure me at all.
Okay.
He was like, Titi, even with just this one we have, that's fine. Stop, you are stressing yourself too much. I persuaded him, let's go for tests. Let's go. He was like, okay, let's go. We went for tests. Everything was okay. And then they were like, okay, maybe you need to slim down because I was actually big. I was slim when I got married, and then after birth and the second baby, I became depressed. I was eating, and then I grew bigger. So my husband was very supportive. My own family, my mom was like, don't worry, you'll be fine, And we went to see a lot of doctors from this place, Gumosho. They're just referring us to different people. And then the doctor was one of the doctors was like, you have to remove your tubes because your tubes are blocked.
Oh dear.
So you can't give birth. One of your tubes are blocked. It's blocked. Sorry, one of your tubes is blocked. So the other one, there's a chance that you can give birth through, but we don't know. My husband was like, can we try IVF? And he was like, you have to remove the 2 tubes so you can try the IVF and can go through easily. That was the point where I said, you know what, now I have to pray. I was praying before, but I was like, in between and
we
all
go
that.
to war.
Yeah, so I was like, now it's time to go to the war room.
Yes.
Yes, so I hope I've answered that.
You have answered that. And I'm sorry about the loss.
Yes, that's fine.
I know I've had 2 miscarriages. I know what it feels like to experience loss after the joy and the hope that has built up in you for months, after the morning sickness, after the nausea, after the pain, the aches, and then you welcome a baby and it's gone. I'm sorry to hear that.
Okay.
So moving on, I'm going to say something. You mentioned your mother-in-law. My mom-in-law and I are close. We're like this. We're tight. She calls me her daughter. When I was struggling to have my baby after the first one, she's a prayer warrior. She would pray for me. She would say things like, you will have a son. Because my first child is a girl. You will have a son. I say, amen. Anything I do for her comes with a prayer for fruitfulness. The first year after I miscarried, it began to weigh on me. It became a sensitive topic for me. I didn't tell her at the time that I miscarried. I told my mom, but I didn't tell other people around me. So she would pray for me. It would bring back memories of the loss. Now, by the time I got to year 6, this is after we had already consulted with doctors, tried weight loss, tried different things. She visits me here in Aberdeen and we're conversing. I tell her I'm trying and all of that. There's the pressure that comes from outside, but sometimes it's the pressure within that can really... I don't care what people say. A lot of people, I carry on. In that waiting period, I was flexing. I was living my life. At least that's what it looked like. Yes. I went and got my master's. I didn't care much about people outside, but the people I love, those were the people I was very keen on what they thought, how they felt, and all of that. So my mom-in-law visits me, and she says, Mom, that's my daughter. You're going to have a boy. You're going to have a son. She teases me. So I do something nice for her. And as a way to thank me, she prays for me, you will have a son. I will go and I will cry. I will say, why every time you're praying for me to have a child? It's not like I'm not trying. I knew her intentions were pure. But the pressure gets so much that sometimes even good morning begins to sound suspicious to you. Even things said with positive intentions can hurt. So one day I sat her down, I said, Grandma, stop praying for me to have a baby. She said, what do you mean? I said, stop praying for me. It's beginning to hurt. Because she and I are very close. I speak to her just like I speak to my mom. I don't keep things in my mind or get upset. I will tell you if I'm hurt by whatever actions you take. So I told her, whenever you tell me that, it feels like a reminder. I am praying. And God will do it when he does it. It reminds me. It's like a daily reminder. Because every day I give you something, you tell me, oh, you're going to have a child. And then the next day you're going to have it became like every day I wake up and I'm thinking of it. I was very anxious about it. So I said, pray for me in your closet. Pray for me. God will hear you. Pray for me in your closet. But don't say it to me all the time because it's constantly reminding me. She said, okay, my daughter, I will not. Guess what? The next day, I bought something really lovely. I bought like a dress for her. I gave it to her. Say, my daughter, come, let me pray for you. You will have a child. I said, Mama. You know, I realized that it was something she didn't mean ill by it. But it was bothering me. So I said it to her again. I went to my husband and I said, talk to grandma. She said, no, you talk to her. You have a good relationship. So I kept talking to her until she said, okay, I will be praying. I will not bother you. Before she left my house, she didn't continue to say that. But she left my house January 2025. February 2026, I took in after 7 years. Yes. Wow. So it's not like the prayer, you see, it works, but don't put it in my face. Don't put it in my face.
I think how I found that I was pregnant was I was sick.
Yeah.
And then I felt like doctors said that you can't give birth normally. You can't take in normally. So I didn't think to that area. I just went to the chemist, bought malaria drug, took it. And I still felt feverish. So I was like, this is serious. Let me go to the hospital. So I went to the hospital. I'm remembering it, I'm seeing it. I went to the hospital. I was like, oh, can you do malaria test for me of typhoid? Because I've taken malaria drug and I still feel sick. The guy was like, okay, you need typhoid test. And I had to wait for a while. And they were like, oh, it's negative. Can we do pregnancy test? A pregnancy test for what? Like, okay. He insisted. I said, okay, do it. See, that I've watched Nigerian movies where, people are like, for the doctor, And that's what I did. I was too excited. I was like, the doctor was asking, are you not expecting it or you're expecting it? Which one? He couldn't really place. It was a good, it was such a good news. And I had to call my husband. He was like, I told you, don't stress yourself. It's going to happen.
6 years.
I didn't prepare. Not like I took any medicine or,
Oh my goodness.
I wasn't even expecting it. It just came naturally. But I had an encounter. And I was doing my master's at that point. My husband enrolled me to do my master's in Redeemers University. And it was like, while you are waiting, instead of you thinking of all these things, just do it. And I had a business.
Productive.
So as I got to my lecture room one day, I met a man. In my lecture, he was like, Titi, you're carrying a baby boy. I'm like, no. Like, what I mean is that maybe we were just prophesying. I wasn't pregnant at that point. Another thing again is that I must mention this. One day, I was so tired. I shut down everything in school. I was like, guy, he's my professor, so I was like, I'm not going to come to school till, I'll call you when I'm coming, but give me like a few weeks. I shut myself in my house without going out, and I prayed.
Oh dear.
I prayed till my husband was saying, what's happening? For 3 days, I don't think I ate. It was the third day. I literally had a voice say to me, go and eat your best food. I'll give you a testimony with proof. That was the first time I had a voice audible. And then I called my sister. She was telling me at that time, my cousin sister, okay, go to is it KFC? Yes, buy a lot of things back home. They didn't understand why I was doing that.
Yes.
And that month I got pregnant.
Oh dear.
So that's why there's a collection of a lot of things, from losing weight to praying to, but the waiting period is really a hard season.
It is.
And that's why when I see people, I make it it's like a task for me now. When I see people waiting, I always pray for them. They don't even need to know I'm praying for them.
Yes.
Because they're going through a lot.
Yes.
But when you have a supportive husband, it's easier.
Titi, your story is too similar to mine. I don't know. You haven't told me this part about locking yourself in and praying and someone saying to you you're pregnant. I had almost an exact experience. Wow. My sister in January said to me, oh, you're going to have a son. I got pregnant in February. So this was the month before. Someone that had been trying for 7 years. My younger sister. And I said, oh, what do you mean? I had already gotten a sense of it. And she said, I didn't have a dream. I just had this awareness that she was in church one day. And she just had this awareness like she wasn't guessing it. it's not that she had the awareness, it's that she said it to me. She's not usually someone to share things like that. She would keep it, self-preservation.
Yeah.
And God help her say, I really, really had the child, because imagine that you say something like that and it doesn't happen, So, but around when I got pregnant, people around me started getting pregnant. My friend in the US got pregnant. My friend in Nigeria got pregnant. My friend here in the UK got pregnant. My elder sister, who was done with childbearing at 40, got pregnant. And she called me and she said,
there's hope for me.
She said,
I'm joking, actually.
She called me and she said, because that's what she calls me, I'm pregnant. I wasn't trying. How am I pregnant? And then when she ended that call, that day, I stripped bare. I stood naked in my room. And I said to God, you're in my neighborhood. You're in my neighborhood. You're giving children to the point you're giving to those who are not even asking. Come and partner with me, my Lord. We've done this thing before. I know this body can carry children. From that day, I started to pray. I didn't tell my husband. I was already on a fertility treatment medication, yes, from Nigeria. Because here, they wouldn't treat me. They wouldn't give me any hormone treatment until I lost weight and went to 75 kg. Remember I said that? So I started the treatment. My sister referred me to someone in Nigeria. And I was taking those medications. And my husband had said to me in December, let's pause. It's too much pressure.
Yes.
Because I will book hotel. I'll tell my husband, let's just go and just enjoy ourselves, Because the pressure was too much. You're trying to have a baby. It's like all you're thinking of.
That's all you're thinking of. You're not even enjoying the...
Do you understand?
One time...
You're not enjoying the sex sometimes.
At all.
Because I will hold my husband and say, give me...
Yes, now, yes,
give me children.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
that period, I said to him, okay, I'm going to stop trying. But in my mind, I said, we have said we've stopped trying, but me, I'm not stopping.
Yes.
I'm not stopping. I want a big family. So I went to God in prayers and I prayed. And I would go to the gym. I didn't even tell him I signed up for the gym. I started working out in January. Like I returned to the gym in January. I was off sick from work. I was going to the gym every morning. By February, I took him. So it was like a mix of different things, right? We'll take a quick break at this point, and when we return, more of the story.
We go again next summer. Real women, real stories. We rise, go again.
Welcome back. So like I was saying, so I would tell my husband, no problem, no pressure. We're not trying anymore. But I would go to the background and try like hard. I was registered to the gym. He didn't know I was going to the gym. I didn't want anybody interfering, me, my God, and this body. I knew I'd had a baby before. I knew I can do it. I knew this body. It's one thing when you haven't had a child before, so you don't know what is wrong. But this one, I said, this body has born a child. It can do this. So let it do it. One day I stood and I said to God, whatever needs fixing, the doctors aren't seeing it. Fix it. I was in my room. I was praying. I would wake up in the morning because I was on sick leave from work. I would wake up in the morning, pray, lock myself in my bedroom, pray. One day I was praying, just placed my hands on my tummy, and the way I felt, Jesus Christ, I felt, and immediately I got a sense that there was like a shift. I can't tell what it was. Because what I said to God is, man is not seeing this. It's up to you to see what the problem is and to fix it. Because if you don't fix it, this cannot continue, forever. And in January, just before I took him, Johnson Oyekon came to...
Yes, I was there.
I was as well. I said to my husband, let's go for Thanksgiving. And he's like, Thanksgiving for what? I said, for my baby. And he's like, I thought we're not trying. I said, because this baby is coming. Yeah. And we went, and throughout that day, the service, I just thanked God. I wasn't asking for anything. I was thanking him for the baby. A baby I hadn't seen. A baby I was expecting for 7 years, I thanked him. The very next month, I was pregnant. When I saw the double line, do you know how many ovulation test kits I had? Because you need to track your ovulation, know when you're ovulating, so you can meet your man. I had so many packs of ovulation kits. I had so many pregnancy tests. Every month I'm spending money on pregnancy test kits. They were all coming back negative. So for more than 5 years, I hadn't seen a positive. So when I saw those 2 lines, I ran to my husband. It was like 5 a.m. I ran to my husband. I woke him. I said, please, are you seeing what I'm seeing? I didn't trust my eyes. I thought I was making it up. It's been long I saw 2 lines. I said, please, tell me what you see. He said, I see 2 lines. I said, because me too, I see 2 lines. I still didn't believe. First thing in the morning, I called I did another test. Then I called the fertility clinic, the pharmacist that was managing my case. And then I said to her, I saw something, but I'm not sure. She said, send me a picture. I sent her a picture. I said, please, is it 2 lines you're seeing or 1? She said, I see 2 lines.
Wow.
I said, okay. I called the hospital. I said, please, I've had multiple miscarriages, and you said to me that whenever I suspect I might be pregnant to come in, please. I saw 2 lines, but I need to be sure. When can I come in? They scheduled me in. I went in. Guess what? They did the scan, and they said we see nothing.
Wow. Maybe it was
The
too
kind
early.
of chill I had. So they said to me, it's too early.
Too early.
Go home. Come back in 1 week.
Yes.
I died and resurrected. I went home every day. My anxiety level was so high. I was like, is it really? Is it really? But as God would have it, today I have my baby boy.
Yes, so good. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So one thing it brings me to is who we became as women in that waiting period. Because waiting
It's
does something in you.
Yeah, it brought me closer to God, and I was able to see and trust my husband more, and I was able to mature, and also realize that there are a lot of things more than having a child that makes you a complete woman.
Yes.
You can do other things while you are waiting. You don't have to wait and be crying every day. You can build up your faith. You can do a lot of things while you are waiting. And there are a lot of people that have waited and they never got disappointed. So I would not be a part of those that will get disappointed.
Yes.
So we have to even stay positive in our minds and be around those who would speak life into us, encourage us.
Yes.
I remember one of my friends always telling me, Titi, you will give birth. My mother-in-law was always speaking to me, you will give birth. See, Titi, I'm sure, you will give birth. She was always saying something positive to me.
Yes.
And my husband was like, Titi, even if you do not give birth again, I'm fine. I should be the one worried. I said, yeah, I know, but I want to have a boy and a girl.
Yes.
So that was the plan. So waiting season will actually test you, and it would mature you,
Yes.
and would increase your faith. So that if you meet somebody else that is in that same position, you'll be able to share what you went through and how you became victorious.
Yes.
Yeah, for me, that's it. And it actually opened my eyes to how I can also live healthy, and how my weight, how my mind affects what happened to my body.
Yes.
So because losing weight helped me, and even now I check my weight every morning, every day. So whatever I see on the scale will determine what I will eat for that day.
Oh dear me.
Because I do not want to get to that point where I was before.
Yes.
And so that's it.
That's what it does. So discipline.
Discipline, yes, and
Faith.
faith.
Lovely. Shout out to your husband. And of course, all the men who support us through this journey.
Yes,
My husband has been my rock.
Yeah.
We got closer. The experience bonded us. The miscarriages, he's held my hand. He's very tender with me. He spoils me.
Oh.
For me, after the miscarriage I had in 2020, I wrote this book. Yeah, The Making of the Holistic Woman is a lifestyle guide. Yes, for the modern woman, for your mental health, physical health, navigating relationships around you. Because I found out, if it wasn't for the people around me, the circle, the support system I had, I might not have survived that season.
Wow.
Titi, I wasn't sleeping.
Oh no. Because
I
had a
wasn't
baby.
sleeping for months. My body still thought I was pregnant after I had the miscarriage.
Okay.
So for months, even with sleeping pills, I wasn't sleeping.
Wow.
I was seeing men like threes.
Wow.
I would wake
Seriously?
up. Oh Jesus, it was terrible. So that inspired this this book.
That's so good.
Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you very
And
much
now
for
you have
having
your
me.
girl and your boy.
Yes. I'm thinking of having one more, but after I have my LR.
Oh,
I'm joking. I'm definitely
I
joking. I'm too old.
I have one boy and a girl, and then a boy.
Yes.
And then everybody's like, "Are you gonna stop now? We're just getting started."
Eh?
Football team.
That's good for you. For me, my husband was begging me. He was like, "Titi, please, you know how it is. This two, it's just perfect for." I was like, "Okay, no. What if I want to have extra? It's not for you to tell me. It's for me to decide." And he'll be like, "Please, please." But again, I feel like I'm too old to go to antenatal. When I was going to the antenatal, I was like the youngest, and I enjoyed it. So going to antenatal now, I feel like I'm expecting a grandchild now. Not a baby, It's interesting, yes. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. If you could say one thing to a woman in her waiting season, what would it be?
I would say that keep up alive, and while you are in your waiting season, you can actually do other things. Do not keep crying and stay up. Surround yourself with people that have gone through this and have experienced this, and hear from them, and get closer to God. Everybody that has gone through this has come out victorious, so you would not be an exception.
Thank you so much, Titi, for doing this with me today. I have a little token of appreciation. Please bring the gift. This is for you.
Thank you so much.
Because you're a queen that deserves to be celebrated every day.
Thank you so much for having me.
Welcome. Thank you so much for coming. It's been wonderful having you.
Yes, thank you so
and
much.
I look forward to hanging out with you more and more. I'm flexing motherhood with you. Thank you for being in my corner.
Thank you so
Titi.
much. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Between our first and second baby, we persevered. We lost so much, but in the end, we had our babies. And today we tell our stories in the hopes that it will inspire someone. Thank you so much, Titi, for sharing your story with me.
Thank you very much.
And if you've enjoyed this episode, just let us know in the comment section. Drop your comments. Let us know what your experience has been. When we share our experiences, we encourage people who are in their waiting season. Of course, like, subscribe to the channel, and share to someone special. I'll see you next time.
We go again next summer. Real women, real stories. We rise and go again with MC Olivia.